Welcome to the Bruce Williams channel. I have the 6 most worn watches on the desk in front of the camera today from my collection. This is not all my collection. My collection is always changing. I love collecting without rules, without boundaries, and without caring what anybody else thinks about my collection. So let me show you again the 6 most worn or most favored watches in the collection, and then I'll talk about the problem with my way of collecting and my collection, where I would like to go next. This one is my Rolex Submariner. This is the Hulk. This is the watch that I would choose if I had to only have one watch out of my collection. I think I would pick this one. Love the size. It's bulletproof. It's waterproof. Great lume. Great bezel action. Highly adjustable. Very dynamic with that sunray green, the corporate color for Rolex. I think that would be the pick. This one is, I want to say, my most worn watch. They all get worn quite a bit, but this one seems to find its way onto my wrist very regularly. It's the Black Bay Chrono Panda. I love the snowflake hand. I love the screw down function pushers. I know some of you really dislike those elements, but I absolutely love this one. It's a little bit hefty, a little bit chunky, and absolutely beautiful. Now, the next watch is the Breitling Navitimer 806. This is the 1959 re-edition. This is the most recent addition to my collection. This one is close to 40 millimeters in diameter. It carries a highly domed plexiglass crystal, if we can get the camera to focus, with a thin layer of sapphire over top. It's just a lovely retro-inspired design that I'm right in the middle of the honeymoon, so I can't get enough of it. Been wearing that a lot recently. The next watch is my Grand Seiko. This is my High Beat. This is my True GMT. This comes in under 40 millimeters in diameter. A highly texturized dial with blued elements. It really is a sharp watch, and you guys can see it carries an exhibition crystal where you can see the in-house High Beat movement that is designed, manufactured, and assembled in Japan. Now, the next watch is the Sky Dweller in stainless steel in bright black with the white gold ring command bezel. This is the most complicated watch in my collection. Outside of hours, minutes, seconds, a date, we have a GMT, and then we also have an annual calendar. So really cool. You access all of the complications via the crown. There are no other external function pushers. You just use the crown and the ring command bezel. And it's just, oh my goodness, it's such a stunner. I absolutely adore that watch. The last watch I wear regularly is the most affordable watch in the collection. It's the Seiko SRPH19K1 Beatmaker. It's a 5KX case, drilled lugs, great size. I really like this color scheme. It's very close to the Pogue color scheme from Seiko. We have a pale gold dial with the Pepsi bezel insert aluminum, which it looks like I've scratched up pretty good. I don't know how I did that mark. Anyways, this is my day date. This one is worth about $450. It's the most affordable watch in the collection, and it takes wrist time away from other watches that cost far more than the Seiko does. So again, these are the 6 most worn watches in the collection. I like the fact that I have a little bit of variety here. 2 divers, 2 chronographs, 2 dressy pieces, 1 day date, 1 no date, 1 high beat. I have a True GMT. I have, a complex watch, a simple watch. I have a good range of value here, I believe, with the Seiko being just under $500, and then the 2 Rolex models, absolutely ridiculous on the secondary market. They're going for about $30,000 each. So I think a good mix of complication, country of origin, and then obviously color. We have very little overlap in terms of dial color and style. So I do like the variation at play here with these 6 watches. That being said, let's flip the camera around and talk about where I need to go next and the problem with my collection and my collection philosophy. So those are the most worn watches in my collection. And again, I adore every one. I wear every one. There isn't one of these that I have even the slightest inkling of wanting to flip or wanting to get rid of. And it's well known that I generally have no problem axing awesome watches and replacing them with other awesome watches. I'm very content with my 6 that I wear most frequently right now in the rotation. But let me tell you guys where I struggle, where I have problems, and tell me if you can relate to me, or if I'm the oddity, if I'm, the outlier with what I want to share with you. So the bottom line is I'm a watch addict. I'm a watch lover. I'm a crazy watch enthusiast. There are many watches, from the affordable to the mid-level to the high-end to the high horology, really high price segment of the spectrum, that I want to try, and not just go into an authorized dealer and put on wrist, take a few pictures. Not that. Not watching a YouTube presentation, not seeing it on somebody else's wrist, at a watch enthusiast meetup. I want to experience these watches. I want to buy them. I want to make memories with them. I want to use them. I want to get that full experience of what that watch has to offer. And so, being a watch lover, there are so many. You name a brand, and I can name you a watch generally that I really want to buy and use and enjoy in my collection. But my problem is, I don't like having a large collection. And I've had times in my collecting journey where I've been a one watch guy, and that's generally a stress-free type of experience, a normal person type of experience. I've had times where I've had, 2, 3 watches, 4 watches, very minimal for a watch enthusiast. And I've really enjoyed that. I've gone with the heavy hitters, the icons, and I've again, really enjoyed having the minimal watch collection. But you lack a little variety. There have been other times where I've been very high in overall number in the collection. I've had 2 dozen, 3 dozen watches at one time. And honestly, I get a little stressed when I have that many watches in the collection. And the stress doesn't stem from value because, again, I've had times where the entire value of my watch collection is housed in smaller heavy hitters, that are equal to, if not more expensive than having a whole bunch of watches that are, mid-level to affordable with some luxury thrown in. So it's not about value. It's about number. It's about being able to wear the watch and enjoy the watch and experience the watch. If I have 24 watches, I'm wearing a watch maybe once or twice a month. And that's not good enough. Because again, I'm a watch enthusiast. I'm a watch lover. And I'm not going to be that who walks around with 2 watches on wrist. No offense, I guess, if you do that. That's not my thing. So I have to enjoy the watches. If I'm wearing a watch maybe once a month, once every 2 months, it just doesn't cut it. I don't like having watches sit in the watch box or in the safe or at the bank. I don't like it. I want to be wearing the watch. But if I have too many, I can't wear them all in a reasonable amount of time. So I get stressed. And I don't know. You don't want to be stressed in your hobby that's supposed to relieve stress in your life. It's supposed to be your outlet, your break, your fun time, your fun experience. So I'm all about eliminating stress. I'm all about no rules, but my desires and my reality, they're at odds with each other. I want to try and buy watches, but I also don't want to have a large watch collection. So that really means I flip a lot. But at the moment, there's nothing I want to flip, So I'm kind of in a conundrum right here. What do I do next? There are so many watches I want to try, but do I add to my stress level and add to the number in the collection? Just get over it. That's one option. Or do I be patient and maybe one of the watches I really love right now, I kind of get tired of. Maybe that happens. I don't know. I mean, that's where I'm at. Can you guys relate to me? I know I'm a little bit crazy, but am I alone in my craziness? Or maybe you find yourself in a similar type situation. What's the ideal number for you? For me, it's about 8. If I'm right around 8, a little bit less or a little bit more, I can manage my stress level. Every watch is getting worn about once a week, 4 times a month, 48 times a year. That's about right. That's enough to where I can keep it, I can enjoy it, I don't get stressed about it. And I don't know, that works for me. Now, in closing here with my mini state of the collection and what's wrong with me, what's wrong with my collection, let me tell you what I would like to do. Some of the watches that are buzzing around my brain that I would like to try, I would like to buy. And these watches change, from month to month. But for the most part, these are ones that have stuck around or made a very deep impression that I think would add to the variety of my collection and the enjoyment of my watch experiences. So let's start with Breitling. Breitling is a brand that I've really been getting into. My most recent purchase was the Navitimer, and there are a couple that I just think are fantastic. The Datora 42. This one, oh my goodness, this one is beautiful. This one is different. This one is large. This is adding to the color in my collection, to the complication, variety in my collection. I just think it's a marvelous piece that is elegant, but still a little bit bold, a little bit brash. Very, very cool. I like this one. I like the Super Ocean Heritage 42 with that green sunray dial, black bezel. I think that one would be a great piece to enjoy and to wear and to use. That's Breitling. If we go to Omega, I love that new sector dial that's crafted out of silver with the blued hands and the hand wind movement, the time zone feature. I think that one, the CK, is an absolutely beautiful release with that retro logo. I could see myself enjoying that. I could see myself enjoying the Seamaster 300 with that tapering bracelet, the sandwich dial construction. I think that one would be really cool. The loomed blood ceramic bezel of the white Planet Ocean before that's discontinued. I think I'd like to buy one of those. That's Omega. Those are the ones that have really got my attention. And then if we go to other brands, I love Glashütte Original. I don't have a German watch in the collection, but I think it would be a great thing to add at least one German watch to the most worn collection, that rotation of 6 to 8 watches. And I love the 70s. The 70s, I believe, has recently been discontinued. And it's a big watch. It's a hefty watch. It's a chunky watch, but it's a subtly gorgeous, beautiful piece with lovely detail work, a bulletproof bracelet, just excellent design language that I really love. So that's one. If we go to Seiko, one of my favorite brands and one of my most hated brands, I guess you could say, there are a few. There's an upcoming 5KX with a GMT that I would really like to get my hands on. I believe it's a true GMT. It's under $500. That's one. And then there are a few that are current production models that I got to film recently. One is the Marine Master 300 with the red Seghaiha textured dial, the ceramic bezel insert. That one comes with matching cufflinks, which I think is ridiculous and awesome at the same time. That one is beautiful. That would be my 6th Marine Master. Again, I have a love-hate relationship with that model in this brand from Japan. I really like the SNR 051. It's a luxe model. It's done out of titanium. It has a very hard clear coating to deflect scratches and hairline wear. It's a spring drive true GMT with a highly textured dial. It's not as pretentious as, say, a Grand Seiko would be because it's branded under Seiko, and it just looks like another one of their chunky, awesome sports pieces. But again, it's done out of titanium with a spring drive and sapphire. Excellent anti-reflective treatment, excellent accuracy. A lot of the lovely things that we associate with Grand Seiko just in the Seiko branding. I love that one. I mean, the SLA, the Willard, the 051, that one is one that I've really been tempted by. If we go to other brands, let's talk about Longines. Longines has a chronograph that will shortly be discontinued if it hasn't been already. It's not very popular. It's the Tuxedo chronograph. That one is marvelous. It's beautiful. I think that one would pair very nicely with my retro-inspired 1959 reissue of the Navigation Timer from Breitling. That one has my eye. There's no shortage. IWC, Grand Seiko, Cartier. There is no shortage of brands and models that I love, that I want to enjoy and experience. But again, what do? Do I go up higher in number? Do I add stress to my life? Do I flip out of watches that I really enjoy? That's where I'm at right now. Next year, it might be different, but right now, that's where I'm at. Tell me if you can relate. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. See you next time.